So I'm here. Everybody can relate because we've all been through some things. And for me, I tap into my grandmother when I sung it on set.
You were thinking about your grandmother.
Sometimes life tries to break you right when the world thinks you're finally standing strong. And for Fantasia Barrino, that moment came out of nowhere. The fans who followed her journey from her American Idol victory to her emotional comeback felt their hearts stop when she opened up and revealed something nobody ever imagined she'd face again. It wasn't just a sad update. It wasn't just a confession. It was the kind of news that reaches deep into your chest and pulls at something you didn't even know was there. And as soon as she spoke her truth, the entire internet froze, wondering how someone who had fought so hard to rise above everything could end up pushed into another storm so heavy, so personal, and so painful. From the outside, Fantasia had been glowing. She was touring, smiling, rebuilding her life piece by piece.
I was that girl that was very insecure and didn't think I was beautiful. And playing this role really, oh my God, it really allowed me to tap into my beauty. So thank you, Celie. You know, so now I'm walking into it, I'm wearing the clothes and I'm not letting them wear me.
She showed grace in every interview and kept her energy bright, even when people could tell she was carrying something heavy behind her eyes. But the truth she finally shared reminded everyone of something real: that fame doesn't make you immune to heartbreak, that success won't protect you from the weight of life, and that even the strongest souls can be shaken. What she revealed wasn't a rumor or a vague hint. It was a raw confession about something collapsing in her world, something she thought she had finally escaped. And the way she described it left her fans in tears, wishing they could shield her from the pain she never deserved. Before we reach the twist, before we uncover the truth, Fantasia kept to herself until she couldn't anymore. We need to go back. Because understanding her past is the only way to fully understand the weight of what's happening now. Fantasia Barrino's story has never followed a smooth path.
Okay, did you leave me or I left you?
First of all, I left you because I got that little thing on the side.
Oh, you had a baby.
I had a little baby. Dang, homie.
She didn't come into the world with luxury or privilege waiting for her. She came from a place where dreams felt too expensive to touch, where life showed its sharp edges before she even had a chance to figure out who she was. High Point, North Carolina, was home, but home wasn't always easy. She grew up in a family full of talent, surrounded by music, yet weighed down by the struggles that come with trying to survive when life puts too many obstacles in your way. She learned early on that hope is something you hold close even when the days feel heavy, and she learned strength before she learned freedom. By her teenage years, Fantasia had been pushed into adulthood long before she was ready. At just 16, she became a mother to her daughter Zion. Instead of receiving support, she was met with judgment, the kind that lingers in a room even when people pretend they aren't looking at you differently.
I had to go through those things in order to learn what not to go through anymore. How to handle business, and how to do it respectfully, not to be mean and be rude, but say, hey, I worked hard for this. I need this done this way, this done that way, because I experienced it. So I am ready now. I always said that I believe that God does not give us things when we're really not ready for it. So I don't think I was ready for certain things then. I'm ready now, friend.
She dropped out of school, tried to piece her life together, and kept pushing forward even as everything around her seemed determined to break her spirit. But she had something powerful inside her, a voice that refused to disappear, a voice that carried the weight of her pain and the fire of her dreams all at once. When she auditioned for American Idol in 2004, that voice wasn't just talent. It was survival, hope, desperation, and destiny blended into something unforgettable. Every note she hit connected with people in a way that felt spiritual. You could hear her struggles, her heartbreaks, and her triumphs poured into every performance. And when she won, it wasn't just her victory. It was every person who ever felt dismissed. It was every single mother who felt overlooked. It was every young woman who had been told her mistakes defined her.
And for every black woman who's been through something, who's been told that they're nothing, they will never be nothing, that they're ugly because of the color of their skin, I'm singing it for them. And I want them to walk out of the theater, and I want them to know that they are queens. And if it had not been for the women who came before us and paved the way, we wouldn't be here today. Thank you. And I want all the young women to know you can do this. You're beautiful just the way God made you. No matter what a man says, no matter what you've been through, that is your testimony. Use it.
Fantasia showed the world that you could rise even when everything around you tries to keep you down. But as everyone eventually learns, the music industry is not a fairy tale. It's a place where talent runs headfirst into greed, where the lights can blind you from the truth, and where the pressure becomes so heavy you forget how to breathe. Fantasia learned that the hard way. Mismanaged money nearly cost her everything. Bad contracts drained her pockets. False friends pushed her into the shadows. And in 2010, she reached her breaking point. The pain she carried became unbearable, and one tragic moment nearly ended her life. That moment forced her to confront the darkness she had been hiding from, and it forced everyone around her to realize just how much she had been carrying alone. Still, she fought her way back. She found her voice again, rebuilt her career, and even found love with Kendall Taylor. Their relationship became a beacon of hope for fans who wanted to believe she had finally found the peace she had always been searching for. She radiated happiness. She glowed. She embraced motherhood again and carved out a life that looked steady, grounding, and full of purpose. For a while, it truly seemed like Fantasia had stepped into the light she deserved. But what nobody expected was the shift that slowly began happening behind the scenes. At first, it was small little details fans picked up: when she posted less often, when her smile looked more forced, when she stopped sharing moments that used to bring her joy. People brushed it off as normal. Artists go through phases. Celebrities take breaks. But this time, the silence was different. And now we finally know why. Fantasia revealed that she had been dealing with a private battle that had shaken her entire world, one she tried to keep hidden until the weight of it became impossible to carry. The worst news, she confirmed, wasn't about a scandal, a rumor, or even a career setback. It was something far more emotional, far more personal, and far more devastating. She revealed that members of her family, the same family she fought so hard to protect, the same people she poured her heart into supporting, were falling apart in ways she never imagined. A fracture had grown so deep that the people she trusted most had turned away from her, leaving her feeling isolated in a way she hadn't felt since her darkest days. A heartbreaking combination of financial strain within her family, broken trust, and emotional distance created a storm that dragged her right back into the kind of pain she thought she had finally escaped. This wasn't just a normal family disagreement. According to Fantasia, the hurt came from betrayal from the people she believed would always stay loyal. She explained that she had been helping loved ones for years, giving and giving until she barely had anything left for herself. And instead of gratitude, she was met with resentment, entitlement, and arguments that shattered her sense of stability. People she once trusted suddenly turned cold, blaming her for things she never caused, expecting more from her than she could physically or emotionally give. But here's the twist that pushed her over the edge. One family member in particular, someone she kept protected, someone she always believed would remain by her side, accused her of abandoning them. They claimed she had forgotten her roots, forgotten where she came from, and forgotten the people who supported her when she was young. Those words cut deeper than any rumor ever could. For someone like Fantasia, whose entire identity is built on loyalty, family, and faith, hearing that from someone she loved was like having the ground ripped from beneath her feet. And when she tried to explain her side, when she tried to share that she had been overwhelmed by her own responsibilities, this person didn't want to listen. Conversations turned into arguments. Arguments turned into silence. And finally, silence turned into distance, the kind that feels permanent. Fantasia admitted she cried for weeks. That she prayed for clarity. That she kept asking herself if she had failed her family despite everything she had sacrificed. But it wasn't just emotional pain she revealed. There was something else, something even heavier. She disclosed that the stress from this family breakdown began affecting her health in ways she could no longer ignore. Her doctors warned her that her blood pressure had been climbing again, that her anxiety levels were dangerously high, and that she needed to slow down before her body forced her to. Fantasia described nights when she couldn't sleep, mornings when she couldn't eat, days when she barely recognized herself in the mirror. She said the heartbreak from her family hurt worse than anything she endured in Hollywood. And the worst part? She had been pretending she was fine the entire time. She went on stage, smiled for cameras, sat through interviews, and posted inspirational messages while she was breaking down behind closed doors. To her fans, she looked strong. To her team, she looked focused. But deep down, she was barely holding herself together. When she finally broke her silence, she didn't sugarcoat anything. She said she felt exhausted, drained, and heartbroken in ways she hadn't felt since her near-fatal moment in 2010. She said she felt like she was carrying the weight of the world without anyone offering to help lift it. And she said she reached a point where she had to let the world know, not because she wanted sympathy, but because she wanted to free herself from the burden of pretending she was okay. Fantasia told her fans the emotional truth she had been carrying. "I gave everything I had. I loved with everything in me. But I can't keep losing myself trying to save people who don't want to be saved." Those words shook millions of people because they weren't just hers. They were words that came from every person who has ever felt torn between family loyalty and personal peace. But make no mistake, the revelation didn't just expose her pain. It reshaped her entire outlook on life. The emotional impact of this family rupture ran deep. It forced her to confront parts of herself she had been ignoring. It made her reconsider the patterns she kept repeating: always giving too much, always trying to fix everything, always placing herself last. She explained that every time she tried to help, she ended up losing a piece of her own happiness. Every time she tried to carry someone else's burden, she weakened her own foundation. This moment wasn't just painful, it was a wake-up call. The emotional toll reached her marriage as well. She admitted that Kendall saw her breaking but didn't know how to pull her out of it. There were nights he held her while she cried and mornings when he whispered prayers over her because he didn't know what else to do. She said she felt guilty bringing her pain into their home, but she also knew she couldn't hide it anymore. For the first time in years, Fantasia felt fragile, and she hated feeling that way. Her career suffered quietly in the background. She had to decline projects, delay studio sessions, and step back from appearances because she simply didn't have the emotional strength to stand in front of the world pretending everything was fine. She didn't want to release music that didn't come from a genuine place. She didn't want to perform when her heart felt shattered. But in the middle of this heavy, heartbreaking chapter, something unexpected happened. Fantasia began rediscovering herself. She said she started journaling every morning, writing down her fears, her hurt, her confusion, and slowly her hopes. She prayed, not for her family to change, but for her heart to heal. She went on long walks, sat by the water, and allowed herself to release years of pressure she didn't even realize she had been carrying. And then she said the most powerful thing of all. "This time, I'm choosing me." For Fantasia Barrino, these words weren't selfish. They were survival. She explained that she has always been taught to put others first, to give even when she had nothing, to keep fighting until she felt empty. But now, she understands that self-preservation is not abandonment. It's strength. She announced that she is stepping away from certain family dynamics entirely, not out of anger, but out of necessity. She said she forgives them, she prays for them, but she cannot allow their expectations or resentment to control her anymore. And now, standing at the edge of this painful chapter, Fantasia is preparing to write a new one. She's returning to music with a different energy, not broken, but awakened. She says the pain pushed her back into her craft with deeper purpose. She's exploring acting roles again, reconnecting with her fans, and pouring her experiences into projects that speak to people who've endured heartbreak of their own. But she also confessed that she's still healing. Some days are harder than others. Some mornings she wakes up feeling hopeful, and others she wakes up feeling the ache of everything she lost. Yet she's learning to give herself grace. She's learning that healing isn't pretty, isn't quick, and isn't something you fake. And now comes the part that touched fans the most. Fantasia said she refuses to let this chapter define her. She refuses to let betrayal turn her bitter. She refuses to let heartbreak silence her. Instead, she's using this pain as fuel not for revenge, but for rebirth. Her final words were raw, powerful, and unforgettable.